Hi guys. Alright, so today is a piece of content that I really love. Because it's one of those things that if you can believe it, just believe it. Don't even try to think about, oh wait, is it real, is it not? Just believe it for a minute. Just pretend that it was real right away, and I'm gonna tell you what it is. What I'm gonna tell you is that in order for you to become successful, you don't really need to know how to become successful. Because I don't think anyone was born knowing how to become successful, right? I don't think anyone was born knowing how to drive the car either, but everyone picks up really fast. But to become successful, there is almost no laws, almost no rules, almost nothing that you need to know exactly, almost nothing that you need to do in a specific way, because there's millions of ways to become successful and infinite more to be discovered. So what is it that you need to know in order for you to become successful? And that is two rules. Two rules. The two rules that I'm gonna tell you are: one, know how much you want it. How much do you want to become successful at the thing that you want to become successful at? How much would it change your life if you had what you wanted, whether it's a nice car, a nice job, although I don't really recommend it, a nice business, a nice life? How good would you feel, right? And that should determine how much you should want to be successful, how much you should want to make it, regardless of what it takes. Because let me tell you, at the end of the day, nothing is gonna take more stress from you than a whole week of finals into 10 different subjects that you don't give a shit about. So I can promise you that if you went through at least one phase of finals, you are ready to become successful and face the problems. So the two rules are, as I said, number one, you're gonna have to know how much you want it. You're gonna have to remind yourself that you want it. You're gonna have to remember why you want it. Maybe because you don't want to live this 9-to-5 life anymore. Maybe because you just want to try something else. Maybe because you don't feel good every day as much as you see others feel good. And maybe because you just think that there is more to life than what you have already. I can tell you, I was there. I was stuck. And I knew I wanted to become successful. I mean, I knew I wanted to make it. I knew I wanted to get something out of life that was more of TV shows and school, or TV shows and a desk job, which I worked at for about a year. But I didn't know what needed to be done. So I thought, well, I don't know what needs to be done, and therefore I'm not gonna do it. So when I started, went through the scholastic career, hating every day, hating every single day of it. It's like they were telling me that there was a specific way to be rich, famous, happy. This way was a little bit having to go through the school curriculum, a little bit having to go through a master's degree, a little bit having to do a bunch of other stuff that I really didn't like, but according to them there was a light at the end of the tunnel, and I just didn't seem to fit in. It almost felt like I didn't want to do what they were telling me, but I was being told that was the only way, and therefore I already ruled out that I will ever be happy. And then something changed one day. One day there was this idea that came to mind as I was talking with a friend of mine, one of my best friends, Luca, all-time friends. I know him since I was 4. He's currently the co-founder of my company. And this idea is actually the company I'm working on right now. And that day, everything changed for a reason. It's because now the only two rules, the only two things that matter when it comes to starting a successful life fell in place. Now I had both. I had the wanting to become successful, wanting to get to a life of my choosing, wanting to get to a place where I could just have a nice car, have a nice life, wake up feeling happy, not having to do things that I don't feel like doing. And then the second component, I knew what it looked like. When this idea came to mind, I started picturing this company where I was working with musicians every day, helping them get to where they want to be. And in the meantime, I was enjoying my business life. CEO of a company. I was picturing a skyscraper. I was picturing employees with which I was having fun on top of working. I was picturing friends more than employees. I was picturing a life where I didn't have to wake up feeling like, oh my God, I'm gonna have to do this for another 60 years before I can retire and enjoy it. And that's it. That's all you need. What you need is 2 things and a half. Wanting it, knowing how much you want it. Knowing what it looks like, kind of. It's gonna change every day. It's gonna get bigger, smaller, different, colorful. It's gonna change every day. It's gonna get smaller, bigger, different. But knowing what it looks like, so you know where to head towards, and you have the wanting it, which allows you to just have the energy inside to feel like you want to do it. And then the F thing. So I said 2.5. And the last remaining component is believing that it's gonna happen. Because at the end of the day, if you don't believe that it's gonna happen, it's not gonna happen. If I don't believe that I don't know. If you don't believe that it's gonna happen, it's not gonna happen. So something very important is that a tiny little bit, you're gonna have to trust the process and understand that if you do it for long enough, something will change. And if you say, well, what if it doesn't work? I've been doing it for a couple of weeks and I'm not rich already. Well, think about it. When you apply that same exact concept to the gym, for how long will you have to work out before you see any change? And if you've been to the gym and you've gone through a process of slimming down, which is the hardest one, you'll probably know that it takes months and months and months before you see any result, and then you're gonna start seeing results and you're gonna flex on the mirror, but it starts feeling good. And then even if it gets harder and harder and harder to see results, you'll push through it, because number one, you know that if you trust the process, it improves, you improve. And number two, you know that you're gonna enjoy it no matter what. Because right now where I'm at, I enjoy working on the company even if it doesn't show any results. I'm not making money yet. But, no, I don't like the remaining component. So with that said, guys, 2 rules and a half. So with that said, guys, no. So I'm gonna conclude with saying that now that you have this very important 2 rules and a half, you basically know everything that it takes to become exactly what you want to be. And I'll tell you what, I'll make a bet with you. If every single day you comment on this video with, yes, I worked on my rule, or yes, no, okay. What was I gonna say? So to conclude today's chapter of to conclude today's section of this chapter of my book, the Mind Frame chapter, guys, you now know the only 2 rules and a half that you need in order to start working towards the life of your choosing. And I can't wait to see the progress that you'll make, as much as the progress that I will make, because I'm gonna be watching this video a couple of years from now. Yes, Julio, you will be watching this video a couple of years from now, and you're gonna be proud as fuck, bro. Anyway, peace.